Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Studio. My name is Olawale Ayeni, and I'll be your host for today's program. I also have in the studio my regular, striking partner, talking about Alpha. Alpha,
nice to be here once again.
How are you doing today?
Awesome.
Of course. We have a whole lot of interesting, sports stories lined up for you right from the news coming from the sports minister saying that he's going to probe the disqualification of 10 Nigerian athletes at the 20 just concluded Tokyo Olympic Games. Also, Messi at this point has joined PSG. Final paperwork are ongoing at this point in time. Also, not forgetting Tammy Abraham. He said that to join Roma for a reported 34 million pounds thereabout. All these and many more will come your way in the course of the show. But straight ahead, let's go to the one coming from the sports minister this time, saying that it's going to open an investigation panel on what led to the disqualification of 10 Nigerian athletes at just concluded Tokyo Olympic Games. He actually made that during his press release. I would say press release on what went down at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. You saw that press release about 20-something item, 20-something points that he actually wrote down. What do you make of him saying it's going to actually get to probe into disqualification of 10 athletes?
Well, I don't know whether to be happy or to be sad about it. For him to say he's going to institute a probe, is he trying to claim ignorance of, that athletes were supposed to do, an out of competition testing before the Olympics? I think he can completely absolve himself from, what went down, the charade we saw in Tokyo. So, well, for him to say he's going to do a probe, fine, I think that's the way to go. We're all expecting that when the athletes come back from the Olympics, there'll be a whole lot of things going on. We said some heads needs to roll. He's inclusive if he comes to that. But if he's instituting the probe, will it be against the AFN?
Against the sport minister.
Exactly. So if it's even the AFN, which of the AFN are we talking about? Is it the current AFN or the other faction of the AFN?
So, both are current AFN.
Okay, but way to go. So let him go ahead with the probe. At the end of the day, definitely there will be a report of that probe. So when the report comes out, we'll see who was culpable and we'll know who to hold responsible for what went down in Tokyo.
According to reports, we know that during the last World Championship in Doha 2019, the minister was just assuming the office, and he said that they was going to probe what led to Nigerian being put in the mud during the Doha Games.
That was in 2019.
But for me, it's just so unfortunate that we didn't get to see the report of that.
We are still waiting for the report.
News just actually came out that the minister actually recommended the sack of the technical director, then talking about something earlier, but eventually we didn't even see the result of the probe. But at this point in time, we know that even before prior to the Olympics last year, we saw reports that the same Sunday Adele actually spoke about why the need for athletes to actually do out of competition just before the Olympics. But some officials from the other camp, of which at this point the ministry is actually supporting, I say that Team Nigeria where athletes are intact, nothing's going to happen of such, that Adelaide was just looking for relevance in that particular time. But at the end of the day, 10 athletes were disqualified from the Olympic Games.
So that's why everything is a bit confusing. Because if as of then, the ministry clearly said that everything was okay. So why, after the Olympics, is he coming to set up a probe when he had admitted that everything was okay? So like we spoke about the Doha probe, we had to see the report. This probe will happen now, and in 2024 during France Olympics, we will still not see any report. I will go there and maybe face another embarrassing situation. So, but let's really hope and see if the report of this particular probe will come out.
Of course, we know that so many people are actually been calling for the head of the minister at this point in time due to the shambolic display of Team Nigeria at the Tokyo Olympic Games. We also saw how the country was embarrassed due to the fact of the jersey, then for the kid for the athletes, where we saw one athlete getting to put on social media that when you reach the Olympics final and we just have one jersey. Now at this point in time, the minister now is trying to shift the blame on the AFN, saying that the one responsible for the kids of the athletes. Just so sad at this point in time that we get people who are in MO of affairs don't really want to take responsibility when they are being called upon to actually do so. But away from that one, in that statement, the minister said we finished 74 best in over 13 years at this point in time. What do you make of that comment?
I think that's just another subtle way of celebrating mediocrity. It's like participating. Your son goes to school in a class of 100, and he comes out 74, and you give him a pat on the back that he did well. So it means people who came like fifth, should deserve to have a proper celebration. So for me, I don't think 74 is good enough. Something that we should celebrate. For me, that's not good enough. We should be looking for ways of which the athletes will, come back and will encourage them, put all the necessary structures in place to ensure that, we have a better outing, in 3 years' time in Paris. So, but coming out to say 74, coming 74 is a good outing in the last 13 years, I really don't think that's good enough. We should be doing better at this point in time.
I can't really remember the name of one country. They actually came with a contingent about below 20 in that country, and they ended up winning about 2 gold medals in that particular thereabouts. While Nigeria that were made up of over 200 million Nigerians, we went to the Olympics with just about 60 athletes. At the end of the day, we were just able to get two medals, a silver and a bronze, and we're saying this is our best outing in the Olympics for over 13 years. I wonder how we get to arrive at that conclusion. Just so sad. We know that in London, London 2012, we didn't actually win any medal. In Rio 2016, we won just one bronze medal from the football team. But at this point, we should not be celebrating just one silver, one silver medal and the bronze, and we are saying this is our best. We should be actually looking.
Even a country like Kenya was snapped up about 4 gold medals or 3, was it? If my memory serves me right. So a country like Nigeria should go to the Olympics and come out with not less than maybe like 10 to 15 medals.
Of course, if not gold medals, at least
exactly. Overall. So not going and coming back with 1 and bronze and a silver apiece, and we are saying it's a good performance. I totally disagree with that statement. I think we can actually do better.
Of course, we can actually do better in the Olympics. We actually just have to do the right thing, ensure that the people who are supposed to be in helm of affair, are doing the right thing at every given time, so that we can actually have good representation at the Olympic Games. The minister also said he was going to about blessing the Cadbury's and all the people that went down in Tokyo. That was going to open an investigative panel and see how can we to grow what really went wrong in Tokyo. Away from that, we head straight to a more cheering news coming from Bayelsa at this point in time, where the Bayelsa, state government has making full plans, to declare one day public holiday just to celebrate the Bayelsa United at Bayelsa who emerged champions of the 2021 AITEO Cup, which was actually concluded in Benin City on Sunday, where we see Bayelsa United defeating Nassau United on penalties, and Bayelsa defeating Robo Queens 4-2 in that particular one. Is that a good move, declaring a public holiday? Already we saw the heroic welcome given to both teams earlier today, and at this point in time, the government is saying yes, we want to declare a public holiday for you guys.
Absolutely nothing wrong in that. In my own opinion. It's just a way to show the players, both the male and female teams, that the state government and the people of the state in general actually appreciate everything they've done in this competition. Because when was the last time a team presented both their male and female teams in a competition such as the AITEO Cup, for instance? and who went into that competition and eventually returned as winners. I can't, if my memory serves me right, I can't remember the last time it happened. So I think it's a thing that is something that is worthy of celebration. So I think good one. At least the public of the day will, give the citizens enough time, a day off from work to really, hit the streets and properly celebrate with their heroes.
Of course, it's good for the state government to actually give a day, a public holiday, so that the citizens of Bayelsa State can actually celebrate their heroes. But for now, we'll go for a short break. When we come back, Messi is in the news. Tammy Abraham is in the news, and our own Super Eagles winger talking about Anayo lwuala also is in the news. Don't go nowhere. Stay with us.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello and welcome from that short break. You still sports orbit right here on the Leadership Podcast studio. News just reaching us at this point in time is that Lionel Messi has joined Paris Saint-Germain on a 2-year deal after his exit from Barcelona.
Good one for the 34-year-old Argentine captain. After the whole saga at Barcelona, I mean, very few clubs. How many clubs on the planet could afford, his services at this point in time? I think PSG were quick to, do business and wrap it up even before the season begins officially. So, good one for him. At least he has another chance of reuniting with his former Barca teammate Neymar. He also has a certain Kylian Mbappe there to play with, and of course, Di Maria is still in the team. So he has a couple of Argentines to play with, and of course, the former Madrid captain is also there, who used to be his foe in La Liga, but fortunately, they will now be playing, on the same team. So it's going to be an interesting season for PSG, with the kind of firepower they have. I think at this point in time, PSG has won everything that needs to be won in the French league. So let's see what they do in the Champions League, because that happens to be the competition where they've consistently falling short. Even when they got to the final 2 seasons ago, we thought this was going to be a year, but unfortunately they couldn't lay their hands on the trophy. So, but with the addition of Messi, I mean, they shouldn't have an excuse not to at least win the Champions League. Not even getting to the final, win it. The French league is a given. I mean, whatever coach coaches PSG, I mean, I can tell you that if you appoint me as the coach of PSG today,
you win
anything in France. So there shouldn't be an excuse for PSG to go all out and win the Champions League this time around.
Of course, at this point in time, we really want to play the video from Messi's going to sign his deal in Paris Saint-Germain at this point in time. My producer, they can actually put that up on the screen right about now. see fans actually getting to chant Messi outside the hospital where he actually did his medical at this point in time. But looking at the kind of calibers of players in PSG's Arsenal at this point in time, do you think a certain Pochettino can actually control that side?
He can, like I said earlier, I should be able to control that side if you appoint me as
looking at the big boys,
today.
the Ramos, the Messi, the Neymar,
at the end of the day, he's the coach. So the buck stops on his table. I mean, as a coach, especially in Europe, these coaches have enormous power. So you are at every liberty to decide who plays on the team and who doesn't play. So I don't think the egos on the team should be a problem for Pochettino to handle. It's as simple as that. If you only play the players who are ready to produce results. Once results are not coming in, you drop the player and the heavens will fall. So I think Pochettino, is experienced enough to rally these guys around.
Do you think the players in PSG at this point in time, do you think defensively they are actually good to go? Looking at the fact that we know they have good attacking players, but defensively, looking at the midfield, we know a certain Liverpool, I've forgotten his name, player actually. Wijnaldum actually joined PSG. But at this point in time, do you think in every department of the team at this point in time, they are good to go to win the Champions League?
I think even in their defense, I think PSG still has a defense, a decent defense. Sergio Ramos, is there at least to replace what's his name, who joined Chelsea. I'm trying to remember his name now. And Silva actually,
Okay.
so certain Ramos is there. He plays alongside Kipembe, who plays is a regular for in the heart of the French defense. So I think they have enough in the midfield. There's a variety. There's Jorginho in that midfield. I think they still have Herrera, but it's also understood that PSG will have to sell about 10 players to really balance the books because of the acquisition of Messi. So when they cut down these players, I don't know who and who will be leaving. So when depending on the players who they sell, that will leave them maybe short, in some departments. But we'll go and see. But I think for now, they have what it takes to go on to win the Champions League.
Of course, so we should be expecting, sport fans should be expecting PSG, getting to write their name on the UEFA Champions League trophy at the end of the season. But away from Chelsea, away from Messi at this point in time, we go straight to news. Coming from the Enyimba FC camp that young player talking about Anayo has joined Espérance over Tunisia in that particular one. It means that he will be receiving about $45,000 per month in that particular one for a deal worth $500,000 dollars. Is this good money? Is this where Anayo should actually go at this point in time? Because we saw the experts in the national team.
I think it's a good stepping stone forward to Tunisia. Their league is almost like the European League, so it's a good move for him, and the money is quite decent. For $5,000, that translates to about almost 22 million naira a month. I mean, how many Nigerians generate that kind of income, or how many footballers playing here? So it's a good move, a good stepping stone. I'm sure his next move will be somewhere in a better club in Europe. So good move for him.
Just to tell you that before we go, that Tammy Abraham has agreed, £34 million deal with Roma at this point in time, and we are actually expecting him to actually put pens to paper at the end of today or tomorrow. But is that a good move for Roma at this point in time? Tammy Abraham, he was supposed to come to Arsenal. At the end of the day, the deal, didn't actually push.
Well, I think Arsenal didn't come up with the funds to make that purchase.
Arsenal went there with the wallet to go and buy Tammy Abraham.
So in the game of football, you don't beg people to, once you don't come with the funds, another team who is interested in your services will come and snap you up. So good one for him, especially with the acquisition of Lukaku at this point in time. And there's really, he saw that there's really no future for him at Chelsea. You still have a struggling Timo Werner there who was clearly ahead of him in the pecking order. And now you've added Lukaku there. So I think he needed to move to in order to, have the opportunity of playing first team football regularly again.
At this point, I want to thank you, for coming on the show.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Of course, before we go, we want to thank our sponsors, talking about Masa, for supporting the show at this point in time. We'll make a return tomorrow at the same time. For now, my name is lwuala, and I'm saying God bless. Bye-bye for now.